Let's get nuts. Hi. How's it going? What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Film Junkie Live on your September 20th. Man, the month's going by pretty quick. Gonna be October before you know it. So much goodness coming out in October. My God, what is happening, everybody? It's the end of Monday. What is going on? Who's out there? Talk to me. Got some people out here already. We got Mr. Nicotina, Andre. Good to see you, sir. Let's go. When did that phrase get out there? Everybody now says that, and you watch sporting events. You can see them mouthing it like, "Let's go." When did that become a thing? Oh, don't worry. We'll be talking about that too, Davey. What? Fingers crossed for what? What's going on there, Mr. Patterson? Hello, darling. Got Mr. Aaron Bailey here. Good to see you, sir. That's right. What's going on, Ryan? Nice to see you as well. Eric is here too. People filing in right now. Stream started. Interesting. All right. Alakasu, how you doing? We got Niner fan here too. Looks like your Niners are doing pretty decent. Sorry, I'm watching. I also have the game on right now too. It looks like the Lions just scored right now, so that's gonna be interesting. What's going on? Okay, let's see. Dune is releasing in 4 days, and we're here in Morocco. I'm so hyped. We're gonna see it in theaters. Finally, lucky. Yeah, it's kind of interesting how they're rolling it out. But hey, if anything helps this movie box office wise, I'm all for it. It's an interesting little rollout that they're doing with Dune, but that's fine. It's perfectly fine. I'm jealous, definitely jealous of you. That's for sure. Because I am dying to see that movie. So, how you doing, Mr. Baker? Nice to see you. We got Steppenwolf here. Yeah, we got Steppenwolf. Good to see you, Snyder Steppenwolf. You're right. Yes. So, yeah, probably won't be like a huge crowd here, as we slowly roll in tonight. Did he make it? Oh, yeah, he scored that touchdown. Yeah, my fantasy team is not doing well at all. Sadly, because last week I dominated. Last week I dominated on my fantasy football, man, and this week not so much. Even though Lamar Jackson, who was my starting quarterback, had an excellent game last night. That was a crazy game, another crazy game on Sunday Night Football, and yeah, man, it just doesn't look like I'm gonna win both of my leagues. I'm not gonna win, so that kind of sucks. What's going on there? JD, good to see you. Good to see you. Sequels are garbage. Yeah, we'll talk about all that. I mean, that was pretty much the talk of the timeline. I saw that. She was trending and everything. I was like, oh, man. All of a sudden, just the ex-wife comes out of nowhere. But the thing is, though, it's like, we'll talk about it. I actually ran a little poll on YouTube to see how everybody felt about the sequel series of Star Wars. So, of course, we'll be talking about that as well as Zack Snyder's Justice League home video sales. David Ayer posting some random Ayer cut stuff, and then of course the box office report, since not really anything huge came out this past weekend, but Shang-Chi just seems to I was over here just going like, hey, September, why are you gonna release like a big Marvel movie in September? What the hell's going on with that? That's just not like that. But apparently, in this pandemic era that we're in, I guess it's bode well for them. So I guess you could say that. So who knows? But I'm sure there'll be a lot of debate going on in the live chat. Of course, I got my wine and my new glass that I have right here. My Monday wine, my Cabernet right here. So cheers, guys. I feel so fancy and sophisticated. What is this? Not drinking out of a drinking glass. Actually drinking out of a proper glass for once. So there you go. It's pretty awesome stuff. So, see, people like Last Jedi. That's good. It's good, Jacob. Glad you did. I've always said that I've always expressed how much I like that movie. I like that sequel, and it was different. And then I could see what Rian Johnson was going for. Did I like everything about it? No. But we'll talk about all that. We'll definitely talk about all of that. So, turn that off. So. we'll go ahead and do that. Hopefully you guys are having a good day, having a pretty decent day, I guess you could say. Oops, I didn't turn off the chat. Where the hell did I turn off that chat? Yeah. I had a pretty decent day myself, when it came to work. Still, this project I'm working on, it seems like we're finally breaking through and getting some relay stuff. So I tell you what, the stress, frustration, it definitely has an effect, because if you notice, boop, 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 all of a sudden there's like another nose is starting to grow on top of my nose right here that is slowly going away. But yeah, it's just like, that's stress right there, because, I'm an adult. I don't get really pimples anymore, and all of a sudden one just happened to just show up right there. So Bozo the Clown, totally happening on my face right now. Jeez. I know. Can it squeak? I know. And then of course I go to a barbecue over the weekend, with friends I haven't seen in forever. It's like, hey, what's up, guys? It's just what happens. Stress, frustrations, it's just what happens. But, it's pretty funny. But yeah, we'll talk about that too. But anyways, the day was pretty much fine. Weekend was good. Like I said, went to a barbecue. Haven't seen these friends in like 2 years. One of my friends, if you guys remember, about, I don't know, 2 months ago, when I had a buddy of mine who made a disc golf shoe. I don't know if you guys remember that. He was doing a little startup, a GoFundMe to start up his business to create this shoe, to mass produce a shoe for disc golf and golf. And yeah, he ended up doubling what he was asking for. It's crazy. So he was actually hosting the barbecue. I hadn't seen him in a bit, so that was pretty cool right there. So yeah. Are we talking about Trudeau? Didn't Trudeau get blackfaced again? How many times has that guy done blackface? And how many times do people just, they just turn and be like, oh, I don't see anything. Oh man, if you can't spot the BS and everything, I swear to God, that guy, I don't know. I mean, there's been so many times that he's been busted for blackface, and yeah, he just gets a little slap on the wrist, and then he's just gonna win anyways. It doesn't matter. They totally. I just don't understand how it gets ignored over here on one side, doesn't get it. It's all pretty crazy. But yeah, political leader, caught in blackface, I don't know how many times, and he just gets a pass every single time. It's interesting. It's always interesting. You just smell the bullshit, smell the BS when it comes to all this, man, I tell you. Who knows? But hey, whatever, that's Canada. That's Canada right here. I was hoping that we got rid of the guy that's running this state, but that didn't happen either. Waste of taxpayer money, waste of a bunch of money. That's usually what it is right there. But what can you do, guys? What can you do? It's just funny when you see all this stuff happening, you watch and all. I just go like, man, there's two different kinds of people watching two different movies when it comes to a lot of this stuff, and I don't understand it. Don't understand it sometimes, but maybe I'm not supposed to understand it. All right, guys, let's go see what happened in the Twitter sphere, in the Twitter world. So let's go to the tweets. Wow. Oh, wait a minute. Did I just hold on? Yeah. Okay. There. Up. Get rid of that. All right. There we go. Sorry, I had something else on right there. If you heard it, you probably did hear it. Anyways, what's going on in the Twitter world today and over the weekend? Of course, we'll be talking about that today. And yes, I saw you, Jose, talk about this right now, too. What's going on, James? But yeah, David Ayer. I mean, this is kind of one of those, I just retweeted it, and I was kind of going all right, let's see how the fandom responds to this. Because this Eric Weber, who works for EW, shocked Warner's let me on the lot after yesterday's Dune tweet. Keep it on the download, though. So he tweeted that out, and David Ayer goes, they're actually really cool people. Yeah. David Ayer said that, and then he went off and said, when somebody said, David, you just hurt thousands of fans. And then he said, it's my truth. It's also my home studio. So that's going to be a little interesting to see a full response to that. But yeah, I know. We all know that Warner Bros., I mean, he's just, he's playing nice. Ayer's playing nice. He's a nice guy. Okay? I think he's a little worried about, it's true. It is his home studio. So he doesn't want to full on, go after him. He's not, fully going after what they did with the movie, but he's still not holding back when it comes to that. But he's playing nice, as you can see. He's playing a little bit of nice. his Ayer on coke. I don't think coke brings that out of him, but you know, but I think he's fine. You know, he's just playing nice. You know, I'm sure he's got some stories. Don't worry when it comes to the studio. But you guys got to realize too that different people or fluctuate throughout studios. So maybe he's talking about certain people he had a good relationship with. Of course, some of the main guys that are still there, Kirby. See, I don't think he didn't deal with Hamada. So he didn't deal with Hamada, but he definitely dealt with Jeff Jones. So yeah, so there's all that in everything. So, and hey, Kat Dennings looking, goofy and hot at the same time. Good for her. She posted this, and I just thought, dang, I might find her character annoying when it comes to the MCU, but she is voluptuous. Yeah, she's still very pretty. And yeah, both a cute and sexy image right there of her. So pretty good stuff. So, yep, turn on that desktop. All right, so this was pretty funny. I don't know, it's just random. Tom Hardy doing I think this was for comic book. I think this was for Brandon Davis, but it's just kind of funny, his face right here.
As the saying goes, we caught you in 4K. I want to know what
like what is that? What is that saying? I caught you in 4K. Tom Hardy apparently has no idea what that is, and his face just said it all. It's just kind of funny.
The saying goes, we caught you in 4K. I want to know what the
you gotta love Tom Hardy. Gotta love Tom Hardy. And yes, guys, look at this. Got some new shirts in the Film Junkee closet down below. We got the Batman the Fanimated shirt. There's me trying to pose, I guess, making a stupid face. But yes, you can get a Batman the Fanimated shirt down in the Film Junkee closet down below, right there, if you so please. Patrons and you members out there, you can hold off. Well, patrons, I posted on Patreon. I gave you a little code to use to get yourself a little a discount, and members you can get a discount too. And there's also a Vodka Stream shirt, new Vodka Stream shirt too. Yeah, as you can see, I take the best of pictures, obviously. So there you go. Vodka Stream and Batman the Fanimated t-shirts are now in there. So go check it out if you so please. They're the tri-blend shirts. I went for quality. I was like, you know what? I'm just going for quality on these ones. I love the tri-blend. They're so great and awesome. So yeah, but like I said, members, I'll post it after. I'll give you a special code for members. But yeah, you patrons, if you it's for everything too. Anything in the closet you want, I'll give you a little promo code for both. So since you guys are, helping out the channel just a little bit more, so I thought, why not give you a code just in case you want to get everything in there in the Film Junkee closet. So hey, check this out. All right, so right here we have Frank Miller. We got Frank Miller talking about Zack Snyder. Well, talking about the inspiration that he's seen when it comes to his Dark Knight Returns Batman. That's right. And I actually meant to pull this up, and I'll go find it in a little bit here because I definitely want to see it. I want to see that there's more of this right here. But Frank Miller thinks it's great that his inspiration for Zack Snyder's DCU, and this is what he had to say right here. He said, at first my reaction was to be territorial, and now I've kind of sat back and with a much deeper breath and longer view, all I could say is, this is great. So there you go. I actually want to find that. Let me find that. I meant to open up that, so pardon me, guys. But yeah, there it is right there. I wanted to actually see the full-on article, see if there was, make sure there was any more. So yeah, right here. So when he talks about the inspiration, really? You're going to play that, add that line? I really got to say that a few years have gone by since all this started, okay? And at first, my reaction was to be very territorial and all of that. And now, I've kind of sat back and with a much deeper breath and longer view on the whole thing. And all I could say is that this is great. So he's talking about this. This was on the Beard and the Beard and the Bald movie podcast. That's Mr. Sherry right there, right? And then he added, I came in and I came up with my idea for The Dark Knight Returns, and basically was the big splash I made, which started my whole career going. And since then, I've seen the two fields collaborate back and forth. I benefited greatly from The Dark Knight Returns, and so have they, and I continue to. And it can only be looked at as a healthy relationship. So, and then he kept on going. He says, and then the podcast, I think it would be its own thing. Snyder told, yeah, that's right. See, that's another thing too, man. And that's pretty cool. I mean, he didn't directly go like, oh yeah, Zack Snyder, man, awesome. But he just was like, cool. That's cool that they're doing that. They're finding inspiration. It'd be cool if he actually went, hey, what Zack Snyder did was fucking awesome. And the fact that was the inspiration, cool. Like, I wonder what he thought about that ending scene. When they were showing all the heroes at the end of Zack Snyder's Justice League, and you see him on the tank, on the war machine. I wonder what his opinion on that actually is. And, and what is, so that's good. It's just always good when you hear the source material, the person who created that, who actually changed Batman forever. Obviously, when it came to Dark Knight Returns, that was when Batman needed that nice little, just, I don't know, steer away from the campiness and go right into the darkness, man. And of course, that's what we could thank Frank Miller for. But I love the fact that he was like, oh yeah, that's cool that they're doing this and doing that. And and I'm sure he appreciates everything that Zack Snyder's doing. Just don't ask Alan Moore about anything Zack Snyder. That's right. Just leave, Alan Moore, yeah. As much as we respect him as a writer, don't ask him the question because you might get a totally different answer. I'm just saying, but we still love the guy, right? Anyways, Frank Miller, you're awesome. We love you. And then speaking of Zack Snyder, look at this right here. Somebody posted this, of course, with, what's her name right here? Miss Regarra. Somebody asked her, working with Zack Snyder. Of course, everybody always says when working with Zack Snyder, they always have the greatest time. And then she posted this image right here. And I'm sorry, as much as I know we're supposed to focus on these two. I can't stop looking at Samantha Wen's fucking abs, man. Look at those things. Look at her abs. She's just bulging out of there right there, man. Just fit as hell. Just saying. Man. Pretty good. That's what I can't stop looking at when I was looking at that image right there. I mean, Jesus. She's just rocking that six-pack. Gotta stay fit. She got in tip-top shape, man. Tip-top shape. Topher Grace! Look at this. So, he's having a little fun when it comes to, obviously Venom's coming out in a couple of weeks, which, tickets are on sale if you haven't gotten yours yet. But somebody actually, I don't know where this was, some social media asked him, are you in the new Spider-Man movie? And this is what Topher Grace had to say. He said, please keep it between us, but yes, I am in it. The plot starts with Peter Parker, Tom Holland, bummed that everyone knows his identity, and then some crazy shit happens with Doctor Strange, and Dr. Octopus, Alfred Molina, and Dr. Octopus comes into his dimension. Then Electro and then Green Goblin hop out of one of those energy circles, and they're like, it's spider stomping time. Then Tom Hardy and I pop out and battle each other, and I win, obviously. It's like not even a fight. I just kick his ass immediately. Not to give too much away, but there are also some actors from the original 70s Spider-Man show that Aquaman, Batman, Affleck, not Keaton, crossover. And thanks to Disney, Han Solo's ghost from Rise of Skywalker and the Eve robot from WALL-E. Again, please keep this between us. So there you go. You gotta love that. Topher Grace, having a little fun with a fan. Yes, I think we could pretty much guarantee that his Venom will not show up ever anywhere. But then again, who knows? Because, we are getting Tobey's characters, so naturally, maybe they would think about doing that. But I think they're going to concentrate on getting Tom Hardy's Venom into the Spidey world, next. And that's pretty much what they've been talking about. Is like, yeah, we're going to get, eventually Venom and Spider-Man are going to meet. But it's just kind of funny, though, because I don't know if I think I retweeted the article, but even Tom Hardy said, oh, yeah, eventually that's going to happen, but there's so much in the Venom verse that we have to get to first. I'm like, okay, understandable, but to me, I think the studios are like, they're all about it for the next movie. And we only have, after this movie, we're only going to have 3 hours and 20 minutes of Venom verse stuff by itself. And I'm just kind of going, all right, well, I mean, it works, it's fine. But anyways, this whole thing about Topher having fun, good for him, that's fine. I wonder if he showers like Ashton Kutcher doesn't. Anyways, good for him. And then, yeah, see, and then this is, speaking of that, right here, just to add to it, this is what he had to say right here, Tom Hardy.
I don't know if you can see this right now, but as the saying goes, we caught you in 4K. I want to know what these kind of Venom Spider-Man
Do you see what that is? That is like little Spidey legs hanging outside the mouth of Venom, doesn't it? That's wish fulfillment. That
has that conversation gone anywhere? Because also we have the Daily Bugle logo that Andy chose to incorporate here from the original Raimi trilogy. I'd love to hear if any of that Spider-Man stuff has gotten into your minds at all.
Of course it's in our minds, all the time. Look at the photo. That's little Spidey legs hanging out of the teeth of Venom. It's really specific. I think you can't do a Venom story without knowing Spider-Man's in the mix. Yeah. He's somewhere. But we all know that there's a big constellation of events, that need to move and operate around. But it's always in the back of our minds, When do I get to eat the Spider-Man?
I don't know if you can see this
there
right
you go.
now.
That's him talking about that. It's like, yeah, the obvious question. Of course, it's going to lead to there. It's going to lead to there, guys. Definitely going to lead to there. So good on him. And but yeah, I like the fact that Topher was having some fun right there. So Venom, 2 weeks, guys. I'm kind of excited about it, but I think it's it should be fine. It should be fine. Anyways, hopefully you guys checked out the video. I think we all kind of collectively went, is it Red Death that's going to be the visit? That's what the topic of the video is Red Death the villain in the Flash movie? So there you go. Make sure you guys checked out that video. There was a new trailer for Halloween Kills that came out, which was pretty cool because it actually showed like the returning characters from the original Halloween that are going to be in this movie. They did like a side-by-side kind of thing, which was kind of cool. Yeah, right here. They did like a side-by-side right here.
The boogeyman came for us.
The boogeyman came for us. See, right there. There's the her, and then him. So that's kind of cool that they're bringing back other characters also from the original Halloween movie. So, going to be good stuff coming out soon. Vincent D'Onofrio is just, he's just having fun as well when it comes to all this. So somebody tweeted at him, like this if you're in Hawkeye, but you can't tell us. And he did like it. He did like that tweet. So Vincent D'Onofrio really wants to come back as Kingpin. And I think everybody objectively wants him to because he was awesome at that character. So hopefully that's going to be the case. I guess time will tell. And of course there was the Batman Day stuff, which talked about in this video right here. Zack Snyder, of course, doing his best casual Batman impression. I love it. I love it. I always knew he loved that character. Always knew. Always did. And speaking of Venom, or speaking of Spider-Man 3, here's that costume right there. Look at that. That Venom. Jesus Christ. That fucking mouth is creepy, man. That mouth is creepy. It's a good costume. It's a good costume, this one at least. And, it's not bad. That mouth is very creepy, but the story sucked. The story sucked. And, of course, we'll be talking about that. Hey, some more deleted scenes from Amazing Spider-Man. Right here where Peter was about to go buck wild and kill Harry because he, essentially, killed Gwen. So, yeah, just more stuff. We were definitely robbed of a much better movie, even though, there's still good parts about Amazing Spider-Man 2, but, man, some of it's a little rough to get through. And look at this. Young Matt Reeves right there. Look at that hair. Ah, man, he looks like he was a lead singer, or maybe it was a lead guitarist of a fucking grunge rock band in Seattle right there, man. You got totally just looks that type. So a young Matt Reeves right there. And then, of course, we had some posters, some new posters when it comes to Venom. They're not that great. They're all right. But, yeah, we got some posters. But, I mean, they're all right. But, I don't know. It's just kind of like, all right, cool, interesting. Why does she... I mean, is she... apparently, Michelle Williams is going to be Lady Venom again. Is that what's happening? She's going to be Venom for a little bit again? I mean, she gets her own poster, and look at the silhouette right there is Lady Venom, you know, or whatever the hell. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It seems like they don't really need her for the plot. But hey, what can you do? What can you do? Pass all that. We got all that. Yeah, and yeah, like I said, I have a feeling that the Funko Pop for Red Death, as well as the McFarlane figure, that's going to be something that's going to be pretty popular if it is the case. Yes, in fact, he is the villain in the Flash movie, which, hey, could be. Very well could be. Some gray ghostness. Yeah. This is awesome right here. If you de-age Ben Affleck, that's year one Snyder Batman right there, huh? Look at that. Fucking handsome devil. Yeah, he's too good looking. He's too good looking. We need to scruff him up a little bit. I don't know. I mean, that chin looks great, but man, somebody did a fantastic job at de-aging Affleck right here. Holy shit. That is just perfect. Man, if they could do like an entire movie, whew. I know there was always that thought, if like he ever like had to make his movie and they did any kind of flashbacking, they would have to do like some de-aging, but that's pretty fucking solid right there. It's just a lot harder to do when it's actual movies, you know. So hopefully you guys checked all that out. It's pretty good. Joey, it looks like Mitch Hedberg. Oh, you're talking about Reeves. Yeah, Reeves did look. Yeah, say some obvious joke. Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet. Yeah, this is pretty good right here because. Dun 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 dun. Is that what heaven sounds like? It's pretty cool. Somebody put that with Tom dying in Tom and Jerry. Tom died a lot, didn't he, in that cartoon? Hey, Anya Taylor-Joy, Emmys. Anybody care about the Emmys? No, but hey, Anya Taylor-Joy. She's beautiful, so why not? I'll look at that. But I don't think anybody really cared about the Emmys. Nobody cares about award shows anymore, right? So, and then Fear Jason. Look at that. He put Snyder's head. There you go. There's your Thomas Wayne Batman right there. There's your Flashpoint Batman right there. Got the beard and everything. It's good. Yeah, we'll talk about that too. We'll talk about the box office and what's going on with Dune, which is already starting off pretty well. And then, yeah, of course, there was all this stuff. And, yeah, James Wan listening to his wife. Yeah. If you guys watched *Malignant*, the cute like forensic girl who was in there, that's James Wan's wife, and apparently she came up with the idea because she's in that field of when it came to the plot twist in *Malignant*. So we could thank her for that awesomeness because I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. And then of course Batman Day, Zack Snyder talking about, you know, it's a great day to go pick up a copy of Zack Snyder's Justice League, which we'll talk about those numbers, which we finally got some kind of numbers. We got first look at McFarlane 3 Jokers line right here, which is pretty cool. I mean, regardless how you feel about the actual series, still pretty good McFarlane toys right there. And then of course the Batman Beyond toy, man, just good stuff. So yep, that's pretty much it, guys. So yeah, back at all right. So there were the tweets right there. That's what was happening over the weekend. Yeah, good. I'm glad you loved *Malignant* there. Jacob, I think everybody, you know, if you appreciate an homage to old 70s and 80s horror, you know, you're a little bit Argento, you got some Sam Raimi in there, you know, but then you got some James Wan-isms. I mean, it's all just great. But we could thank James Wan's wife with helping him out with that. So that's good. That's good. All right. First topic. All right. Marcia Lucas. Well, this was the talk of the timeline today because you know how it is. Ever since Disney decided to buy up Lucasfilm and release the Star Wars movie, yeah, it hasn't felt the same. Hasn't really felt the same. I think when it comes to me and it comes to some other people, some people that frequent the vodka stream, I think Rogue One, when it comes to Disney Star Wars films, probably the best one. Yes, it is the best one. Yes, objectively. Just kidding. No, it's subjective. Of course not. Whatever you feel, that's fine. I do like Force Awakens. I do like Last Jedi. Rise of Skywalker was a fucking mess. Some cool scenes in there? Yes, absolutely. But let's face it. It seems like when it comes to the movies, they just don't know exactly what to go for. It's like, yeah, nostalgia. It's like JJ came in and said, hey, nostalgia, set up new characters. Cool. Then you guys go. They didn't know what the fuck to do. I mean, we can all kind of collectively agree that they didn't know exactly what they wanted to do when it came to what JJ set up, because I think JJ actually did a good job of setting it up, balance out some nostalgia. I've said it before, nostalgia, as well as like, all right, but here are the new characters. But at the same time, too, it's like, all right, you have Rey, but she's a little too much like how Luke was, a little, maybe not as much, but it's just, I don't know. There's just more they could have did with it, and they definitely missed an opportunity by making Finn a Jedi. And I think JJ was really trying to establish that Finn had Force abilities. I think he was trying to set that up. I caught that right at the beginning, when he was still a stormtrooper at the beginning with Kylo Ren, and he started offing off that whole village and everything. And then when he looked at him and they looked at each other, I was like going, okay, Finn, he's Force sensitive. He's got to be. But no, they decided to be like, nope, instead, you're going to team up with this other character that we created, and you're going to go into this casino world, and you're going to have a fucking like Harry Potter adventure. You're going to ride like this crazy, like majestic looking horse and everything. It's going to be awesome. No! It was not awesome. Totally just shit on the character. It would have been better. To be honest, it would have been better than Rey's origin because, well, they changed Rey's origin because they freaked out and then they flipped it around and they didn't know what the fuck to do with her. But Finn's origin, the fact that he was once a stormtrooper and to leave that and then find out that he's a Jedi, that's just better than what they were establishing with Rey, to be honest, I think. That's just me. That's me right there, because I'm like, you missed a perfect opportunity just to take that story of a stormtrooper becoming a Jedi. I thought that, I was hoping that's what they were going for, and they ended up not going for that. So that's just my little spiel. That's my little rant when it comes to, obviously the new Star Wars when it comes to that. So let's look and see what Marcia had to say. Marcia. Let's see. Do I have that up here? Yes, I do. All right. So let's look at this is from she had a little, let me turn off the bat sound. I'm going to the tweets again. All right. So this was right here, Marcia Lucas. She had to say right here, this was on this show right here, A Producer's Life. So this is the quote right here. I like Kathleen, jeez, I almost said Catherine. I like Kathleen. I always liked her, says Marcia Lucas. She was full of beans. She was really smart and really bright, really wonderful woman. And I liked her husband, Frank. I liked them a lot. Now that she's running a Lucasfilm and making movies, it seems to me that Kathy Kennedy and J.J. Abrams don't have a clue about Star Wars. They don't get it. And J.J. Abrams is writing these stories. When I saw the movie where they kill Han Solo, I was furious. I was furious when they killed Han Solo. Absolutely. Positively, there was no rhyme or reason to it. I thought you don't get the Jedi story. You don't get the magic of Star Wars. You're getting rid of Han Solo, and then at the end of this last one, The Last Jedi, they have Luke disintegrate. Yeah, they killed Han Solo, they killed Luke Skywalker, and they don't have Princess Leia anymore. And they're spitting out movies every year, and they think it's important to appeal to a woman's audience, so now their main character is this female who's supposed to have Jedi powers, but we don't know how she got Jedi powers or who she is. It sucks. The storylines are terrible, just terrible, awful. You can quote me. J.J. Abrams, Kathy Kennedy, talk to me. Ouch! So yeah, throwing some absolute shade right there. And if you guys didn't know, Marcia Lewis, Lewis, I keep on saying Lewis. I don't know why. Marcia Lucas, of course, is the ex-wife of George Lucas, and she edited the first trilogy. She was his editor for the first, and won an Academy Award too, by the way, for editing New Hope. So, so she's very much was into that Star Wars world. But you know what? That's not the only thing, though. I mean, she has, even right here, this is another article right here from Mr. Paul Shirey right here. He said, original Star Wars editor, which is Marcia, cried after Phantom Menace. She didn't like the prequels either. I mean, it's not just the sequels. She didn't like the prequels either. I think she just liked the initial one and understood it. And then, I think that's when they parted ways. I think we've heard this story before. I think we've even discussed it on the Vodka stream where it's like, she wasn't too partial to the prequels either. She even said it right here that she literally went out and cried after she saw it right here. So it's not even that. See, George is, in his heart and soul, a good guy and a talented filmmaker. I wish he would have kept directing or other kinds of movies. Yeah, I always wondered about that. Why did George Lucas just not direct anything else? I never understood that because he wasn't a bad director. If you look at the other things he did, THX, American Graffiti, he was a good director, but he wasn't the best of writers. Sure, he didn't know how to write dialogue, even Han Solo, even though Harrison Ford has said that before, how he approached George during New Hope, and he said, you could write this shit, but you can't say it. And it's true, the dialogue, horrendous. He's not the best of writers. But I always wondered why he never directed anything else. It's crazy. I never understood that. He just kind of went, I just built an empire and that's all I needed to do. But when I went to see episode 1, I had a friend who worked at ILM who took me as a guest to a preview. I remember going out to the parking lot, sitting in my car and crying. I cried. Yeah, because she didn't like that either. She wasn't a fan of the prequels either, which is what's kind of funny, I guess she's just not a fan when George Lucas is in full, or when he's in full control, and then when he's not in control at all. I don't know. I guess there should be a good balance right there. Maybe that's why the original trilogy is it's a good balance, because it's the first one is 100% George Lucas, and then he passed it off to two different filmmakers, some different writers, Lawrence Kasdan and whatever the hell. And, those are, let's face it, Empire is the best one, and I always joke and say, well, that's because George Lucas didn't write or direct it. But I still wish he would have made more movies. I never understood why he never made more movies. It was always very interesting to me. So, but so that was coming around. That was flying around on the timeline and social media and everything like that. So it was kind of interesting, but at the same time, it's and somebody said it at the beginning here in the chat, it's she's also slammed the prequel movies. It seems like nobody's been a fan she has just been a fan of these movies since the original trilogy, but she does make a valid point that they don't really know what the hell was going on. And like I said, when it came to the Rey story in the sequel story, it's just it would have been better if it was Finn that was actually the Jedi, to be honest. Or if they both could have been Jedis. Yeah, that would have been great. But, the fact that they just kind of went, oh, no, she's going to be, and then they brought back Palpatine, and it's just come on, man. To be honest, Rise of Skywalker, I've only watched it one other time since it came out. The other ones I've watched a few times. Force Awakens, when it comes to the new one, that's my favorite one, because like I said, I thought JJ did a good balance of nostalgia and introducing some more stuff. But at the same time, I'm just kind of going, I really like the balls of Rian Johnson to try to just take it a different direction. And but then there's some stuff I didn't really like. The Leia thing was kind of weird in space. But at the same time, I was but it's something different. I didn't see that coming. But then when it came to Rise of Skywalker, it was just nonstop. I always say the opening of Rise of Skywalker, when they were doing that whole light speed skipping, I'm that was the theme of the movie, was just get to the next scene, get to the next scene, get to the next scene. They were trying to cram so much into that movie and trying to finish it off, and it seemed like they were scrambling. Yes, there are some cool things that happen in the movie, sure, but she does make a valid point of why the hell were they just killing everybody off right away? But at the same time, you got to remember too, though, that Harrison Ford You know, he wanted to get killed off in Return of the Jedi. Remember that. Harrison Ford didn't want to. He was over with the whole Han Solo thing. So I think the only way that they were able to get him back as Han Solo in this one is if they killed him off. But then again, they bring him back again in a flashback in Rise of Skywalker. I mean, they could have done so much. And like, same thing with Kylo Ren with Ben Solo. They should have had Ben Solo, or they should have had him go from Kylo Ren back to Ben Solo where he was good, like we saw at the end of Rise of Skywalker. That should have happened at the end of Last Jedi, to be honest. And we could have had a whole movie on a Ben Solo going, okay, I'm good now. Sorry, I was a dick. I don't know what the hell. But now, I'm good. And we could have just had like a whole movie. That would have been cool to have like a whole movie, have a cliffhanger or something, I don't know. Because when he finally went good and he was taking out the Knights of Ren and all that stuff, I thought that was great. I loved it when he got the lightsaber and then he did that whole, you know. I thought, okay, that would have been cool to have a cross of, you have a Jedi, but also he's a Solo. So you have Han Solo and a Skywalker mixed together. That would have been cool too. Can you imagine that? Lightsaber and a blaster. I mean, you're taking two iconic characters, Skywalker, Solo, and now you have a character that's both of them. I mean, that would have been pretty damn cool too. So, who knows, man? Who knows? Yeah, that's right. The JJ cut. Is that even a thing? Who knows, man? Who knows? They cheesed it up. They cheesed it up. They cheesed it up. But it's okay, guys. You know who's going to save Star Wars without actually saving Star Wars? Zack Snyder. That's right. Zack Snyder. With his Star Wars pitch. I love the fact that Zack's pitch didn't get taken up because now, for the past, 12, 13, 14 years, he's been now taking his Star Wars idea and then building his own world with it. You know, of course, there's going to be people that are going to be like, he ripped off Star Wars. We're going to get a lot of that when Rebel Moon comes out, of course. A lot of people are going to say that. But at the same time, it's going to be fucking cool. We're going to get no holds barred Zack Snyder Star Wars, okay? Because there's no way that Disney would let him do the shit that he probably wants to do. I wonder if it's going to be rated R. That'd be sweet. So, we'll see. We'll see. And then speaking of Zack Snyder, domination! That's right. Home video domination for Zack Snyder's Justice League. Now, these are numbers that came out a few days ago, so they're not fully current. You know, they'll definitely be probably even more. I mean, you know, when I showed you my picture, I did my video about it. A lot of people are showing those empty shelves now. You know, it wasn't like entirely everywhere, which I explained in my video that, yeah, not everywhere had like an empty shelf, but mainly there was a lot of empty spots for Zack Snyder's. People are just craving a lot of home video because obviously we're in a pandemic. It does make sense, but still.
Yeah, it's like at Warner Brothers.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, here's the article right here that kind of explains this. That you knew that Warner Brothers they were not going to be able to hide from these numbers. That's what I kept saying. They're not going to be able to hide from these numbers because it's a whole different thing. This is not just like Samba TV, like taking on, like seeing what's happening when it comes to streaming on a smart TV. You know, it's not that. It's not that. This is actual DVD sales. And, you know, I'm glad that everybody's, you know, getting their physical copies and stuff. I know there was like, for a minute there was like a conspiracy that people, when they bought it at Target that didn't have the title, I was like going, okay, guys, don't get too crazy with it, please. Let's not get too like conspiracy theory out there because I saw some people going like, they don't even say the name on the receipt. I'm like, that's common practice when it comes to, easy there. Yeah, you know, I was just kind of going, all right, guys, let's not get all Alex Jones on that shit. But yeah, Media Play News reported this over the weekend. Zack Snyder's Justice League dominates disc sales by a 5-1 margin. Zack Snyder's Justice League easily took the top spot on both the MPD Video Scan First Alert chart, which tracks combined DVD and Blu-ray disc units, and the dedicated Blu-ray disc sales chart. The week ended September 11th. So yeah, this is like, you know, right there. So I'll open up this. All right, so easily took blah blah blah. The 4-hour director's cut of the 2017 superhero team up Justice League, distributed by blah blah blah, 5-1 margin. Snyder's re-edit and extended version of the DC Comics adaptation, which he couldn't finish in 2017, serves as a sequel. Yes, we know that. Blu-ray disc formats accounted for 75% of Zack Snyder's Justice League first week unit sales, and 38% of the total tally coming specifically from 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray, meaning 37% was regular Blu-ray and 25% was DVD. A trilogy collection, which is what I want to get, of all 3 of Snyder's DC films was number 14 on the Blu-ray disc chart. The previous week's top overall disc seller, Warner's The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, dropped to number 2 on the overall chart. The third Conjuring movie was down 1 spot on Blu-ray disc chart to number 4. Lionsgate Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard was number 3 overall disc seller and number 2 Blu-ray. So we got all that, and we got all that. But domination, guys, domination. Cannot hide from those numbers, and you know that Toby does not like to see any of that, but it's okay.
Yeah, suck it, Warner Brothers.
That's all you got to say right about that. Suck it, Warner Brothers. It's like, yeah, you weren't going to be able to hide from this. I mean, the fact that we have, when it came to HBO Max, we're never going to get fully those numbers. We've seen different numbers, and a lot of people use it to either. It's funny when it comes to the debate about numbers and Zack Snyder's Justice League. I mean, so many people wanted to use certain numbers, just the Samba TV numbers, which again only look at smart TVs, and it came in like third or something like that, behind Wonder Woman 84. It's just like, well, that's when you know the context, when you know the logistics of what that is trying to read. It's like there's really no room for argument, and I still see people arguing back and forth on the timeline when it comes to that. But when it comes to physical copy sales, DVD, Blu-ray sales, you can't hide from those numbers, and Warner Brothers can't hide from those numbers. It's out there. It dominated. It did well. First week, it was awesome. People were taking pictures, like I said, of empty shelves and everything like that. So it's good, guys. It's good. It's good. We all did a good job. Now we got to get that damn Ayer cut out, and hopefully that'll happen soon. But at the same time, this is good, and Zack loves seeing the fact that he's seeing those empty shelves. He was loving it. People were posting about it. He was liking those. He loves to see it. He definitely loves to see the fact that the shelves were empty. It just kind of shows you right there. So, good job, guys. Good job on buying those physical copies. Like I said, I'm just gonna order the trilogy off of Amazon. Yeah, bite the bullet. I wanted to actually go out and get like a physical copy, and I'm like, nah, couldn't find either the 4K or the trilogy at a decent price. So I'm just going to go ahead and just order off Amazon and hopefully upgrade my TV soon. And start getting into like physical media again, because I went off the reservation and just totally was like, hey, I'm all about digital, which is nice. It's nice, convenient, sure. But now I'm getting back into the physical stuff, and gonna get that and add to these numbers. Add to the numbers. So, congratulations, guys. We did it, man. It's crazy. This whole fucking journey, I swear to God. To go from it doesn't exist to it actually exists in your fucking hand, and people are just swiping it up everywhere. Gotta love it. I even when I went to that barbecue over the weekend and talking to friends I haven't seen, they all watched it. They all liked it. I mean, one of my friends was like, oh, it was a little too long. And I'm like, yeah, but it plays out like a series, like you binged it. And he goes, yeah, you're right. I watched it in 2 sittings. I'm like, yeah, see? That's what it was for. He knew exactly how to pitch this movie. It's like, all right, chapter it up. It could be like a little mini-series. And that's what he pitched it as, because he's a smart dude. And now you have a physical copy. And, I'm sure some of you slept with that physical copy every night for at least a week, right? You cozy it up with it, you snuggled with it, maybe spooned with it. I don't want to know anything else that you might have did with it, but that's your business. That's your business. It's fine, though. I totally understand. If you I get it. Anyways, let's go over to David Ayer now. Speaking of David Ayer, So he decides to drop, David Ayer, it's funny because when it comes to Zack, he just before the Snyder Cut even got approved for finishing, man, he just was like dropping. I mean, I think it helped that he was on Vero, it was his own thing, part of that whole different, ecosystem when it comes to Vero. He just was like, that's where I'm going to drop my shit. I'm just going to drop my shit right there. David Ayer just silently, in his stories, always drops some new shit when it comes to new images that show up. And then people just spot them real quick, take a screenshot, and it's like, yep, there it is. There it is, like this image right here. Look at this. So we got the Joker. This is the image where, we've heard about this, where this was part of the script. If you guys remember when we did that campaign, when it came to the Ayer Cut campaign, and RT Ayer Cut had different sections of the script, had it right here. And this was actually one of them where he was just basically, I don't know, I'm guessing this is before he's like in the fetal position, butt naked, because all those bottles are still full of alcohol. So maybe after he maybe drinks them. I love that there's a water bottle just chilling right here. But yeah, so this is just the Joker just kind of losing his mind right here. Losing his mind, dark scene, gotta love it. And then we had some other ones right here. We had this shot of Batman. It's just blue screen. I don't know if that's Ben. I think that's Ben, with the oxygen respirator on there, which was really cool. Wasn't there like a figure that was that had this on there? But Batman always has something. He's always. I mean, if you watch Batman the animated series, he always has a mask of some sort in his utility belt. Especially when you're fighting the Scarecrow, you're always going to have some kind of gas mask on hand right there. So we did that. You see the green screen behind there, so that's a behind-the-scenes shot. Let's see. There was one more shot. It was not that one. Wait, where the heck? David Ayer. Yeah, this one right here. So one of the Joker's dudes right here, when they run amok and start shooting up Arkham Asylum, you got the goat right here. We got the goat with the J necklace right here. So holding a very, very big fucking gun right there. Big fucking gun, BFG. And shooting up the place. So he posted that, and then, of course, Joker and then Batman right there. So David Ayer still planting those seeds. Still very much planting those seeds. Yes, he's still following the people that he followed, and he followed some more. Just saying. He followed more people in the fandom. He's putting more pieces out there. What does it mean? Who knows? But we can all, it's almost like it's going to be, it's inevitable. As Smith would say in Matrix Reloaded and Revolutions, which I watched Reloaded last night, and I don't care what anybody says. It's still a fucking awesome sequel. I don't care what anybody says about the sequels to The Matrix. They're still fucking fantastic. Okay, even though, it does, especially if you watched it with friends or family, yes, it does get awkward, that dancing scene at Zion, yes, it does. It gets weird. You're kind of just like, this is dragging on. Even when I was watching it by myself last night, I'm like, that scene, very long. They should have cut it down, maybe just a little bit. But, still kind of hot. Anyways, just veering off. But it's inevitable for the Ayer Cut to come out, okay? It really is, and I think David Ayer really knows. He knows what he has to do, and he's just placing his pieces out there, and starting to follow different people. And I'm glad that he's followed more people in the community, and we'll see what happens, man. Like I said, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I can get that guy on the vodka stream one of these days. When he wants to start talking, Dave, I'm here for you. Let's have a drink. Relaxed discussion on the stream, coming to the Vodka Stream Lounge and just kind of chill, and we'll have some conversations. Just talk about the experience. We don't have to shit on Warner Brothers the whole time, but but still.
Yeah, it's like Warner Brothers.
Yeah, still that. But it's whatever. All right, and then the last topic I want to talk about was just the box office over the weekend. Nothing too crazy happened because, it's still a couple of weeks before we get Bond Venom, Dune. I mean, the box office is going to start getting pretty crazy again. But of course, Shang-Chi is still the dominant warrior out there when it comes to the box office, to the pandemic box office, mind you guys. We always got to say the pandemic box office. So here's the box office report right here for the past weekend. Sadly, Cop Shop. I was hoping Cop Shop. If you guys saw my first reaction review, I really enjoyed Cop Shop. Gerard Butler, Frank Grillo, and directed by Joe Carnahan. And it only made $2.3 million. I don't think it was released worldwide. Yeah, it was slightly. So, small movie. Did it even have the budget right there? No budget. Oh, well. But, Malignant still going. Added some more theaters. 24.6. I still want, I think we talked about how much it was. It probably was. It's probably not going to make its spot, but it's not really meant for that. It's meant for more subscription services and subscriptions to HBO Max. Candyman's still running pretty strong for it's almost at 68 million, so that's pretty good. Free Guy just cannot be stopped. That's not Free Guy. Free Guy can't be stopped right now. I mean, it's almost crossing 300 million, which is cool. I love the fact that it's an original IP that didn't have a dual release, so seeing that it's lasting out there. It's definitely lasting. So Free Guy continues to be great as well. But yeah, Shang-Chi also still kicking some ass out there as much as it can during the pandemic box office. But yeah, it is definitely still seeing that a lower box office because no China, because Simu Lee said some bad things about China, but I say bad things about China all the time. What am I talking about? There you go. Always, anytime China gets mentioned, I just go right into a Trump impression. But that's why that international number is lower. Usually it's the other way around. But yeah, 288.8. I guess once it gets on Disney Plus, it's going to be interesting to see what those numbers are because you know that Disney is definitely going to be doing that. But what I also wanted to talk about, and it's not even on here. Why would they not have that on here? Which is interesting. But Dune, let me see if I search it, and they should have it. They should have it ready. But Dune is already slowly releasing around the world. We talked about how it got released in France. Where it come from, France? France, Germany. It's already been released in these countries right here. So this is where it's slowly releasing out. It's already made $37.9 million. That's good. Decent. Now we'll see if this, the way that they're rolling out Dune right now, Warner Brothers, we'll see if this works out for it. Hopefully it does. I mean, it sucks that I'm not going to be able to see it. We're not going to be able to see it in the States here for another month. Really sucks. But I saw, Lane, he said he was going to see it in Morocco in a couple of days. So, the fact of the matter is people are still going out to see this movie internationally. I hope the movie's I hope the numbers see an uptick, but, not too shabby for starting a slow rollout in some of these countries. 37.9 million. But like I said, Warner Brothers is going to be looking at those numbers. They're going to be looking at those numbers for HBO Max. So what they said that in order to get that sequel, if Denny wants to get that sequel, hopefully people will be watching on HBO Max. I'm just saying, if you want to help a little bit, guys, if you cancel your HBO Max, you want to help Denny out a little bit, especially after all the controversy that happened last week. Get on HBO Max. Resubscribe for another month. Just for a month. 50. I think they lowered the price because they left Amazon or whatever, which they probably lost subscribers after that. But I'm just saying, you want to help it out a little bit. I say just subscribe for another month and then see what happens. I mean, I'm still going to keep it because I like the service. I like the streaming service. They have. I like the library and everything on there. So. But yeah, that'll definitely help. If we want to get that sequel, guys, go out and see it. Support it on HBO Max too, man. If we want to see that sequel. I definitely want to see that sequel. I'm still, like I said, I'm still reading the book. I'm hoping to get to at least the part because you know what? It was kind of funny too because one of my friends, the guy who was throwing the barbecue, we were talking about movies and stuff, and he's looking forward to Dune as well. And he's also read the book. And he went, you know what, though? That book is a tough read. I'm like, yeah, it kind of is. It's pretty heavy. It's a tough read. You know, it definitely is a tough read, and there's a lot. I mean, you see how thick that book is. I mean, the ideas are all there, and when it gets intense, it's great. It's, you know, I'm not saying by no means it's a bad book, but it can be. It's a heavy, heavy read. It definitely is. So, but I have faith in Denny making, of course, the cinematic story to make it just be just something unique and great and fantastic. So Fear is definitely the mind killer right there. So, yeah. I think it'll be all right, guys. Starting off pretty strong. I don't know if, like I said, it's an interesting rollout, and I could see what they're trying to do. And like I said, if you wanna really help out this movie, I would say, you know, go watch it on the biggest screen you can, IMAX. And then if you want to support it on HBO Max, that's what's gonna really get that sequel, guys. It is. Sad but true. I know some people are just like, as soon as Zack Snyder's Justice League came out in physical media, they're like, don't need it anymore. Canceled. That's right. Sorry, HBO Max. Sorry, Warner. Yeah, I get that. But at the same time, it's like, if you want more content, that's where the shit's going, is right there. It really is. If you want that sequel to Dune, we're going to have to support it on there. I always kind of find it funny, too, because that's exactly, you know, that's where the Snyderverse would end up going, though, too, because, you know, Zack Snyder's Justice League is exclusively on HBO Max, so, you know, but anyways, looking forward to Dune. Denny, I got you. At least a lot of us here got you. We got you. We're seeing your movie. 100%. All right, so that's all the topics there, guys. Let's go to the Twitter questions before we wrap up the show here on this Monday show. All right, let's see what we got here. Yep. All right. Okay. All right, Eric. So Dave, with the possibility of Red Death, what other dark multiverse character stories would you like to see show up? Personally, imagine something like below as a dark alternate sequel to BVS, a rage-filled Super Lois going injustice on the world. Dun dun dun. What? You wanting another Lois story? The shit you say, Eric. That would be pretty interesting, though. Yeah, bring back Zack to direct this. That'd be pretty sweet. Remember he did want to direct something where he wanted to buff up Amy Adams. This would be perfect. Be perfect. I haven't really delved into the big time dark universe, so I don't know. I mean, you got the metal universe, whatever the hell, but I don't think they'll go that crazy with it, which I got the guy right here, but I haven't really delved into the dark universe too much. I need to. I definitely need to, so. That's why when it came to Red Death, I was like, I wasn't too familiar with the Red Death origin when that all came about. I heard of the characters, saw the figures and pop, but I was like, yeah, that does kind of make sense, though. It does make sense to be the fact that, this Flash movie is going to be Batman and Flash, so why not have a character that's going to be a little bit of both? So, yeah, that would be interesting. That'd be interesting. So, yeah, Amy Adams' rage right there. Penier's right. There you go, Lane. Finally giving me that hashtag. Speak of director's cuts and Val Kilmer. Did you know there's a director's cut of Tombstone that was released in 2002? Not a ton of extra bumps it already. Yes, I actually was aware of this, and I've seen it. But I mean, even the original cut was fine. There wasn't too much that happened with the director's cut, but yeah, I have seen it. But I can't remember which scenes was like added to it. Were added to the director's cut of Tombstone. Tombstone is just fucking fantastic all around, man. So it's such a fucking good movie. That is my favorite Val Kilmer performance. Of course, everybody always says Jim Morrison, which yes, absolutely fantastic, but I think his Doc Holliday performance was his best one. RT Schumacher cut. Do you think if Val Kilmer hadn't gotten sick and kept his A-list star power, do you think he would have been in contention to make an appearance in the Flash film instead of alongside Keaton? No, I don't think he would have. I think they really went after Keaton, and I think Keaton. The reason, when Keaton stopped. Keaton was all primed and set to do Batman, the third Batman movie. But, Warner Brothers wanted to go a different route. A lot of people, and then he was just like, all right, well, fuck you then. Then we want to do a different route. We're not going to do Burton. We're not going to do this. So, So yeah, it was just he was still prime set to do the third one, but then fucking Warner Brothers, always doing their Warner Brothers thing. When it came to Val Kilmer had trouble throughout the whole shoot. He was fighting with Joel Schumacher, and when they wanted him to come back because Batman Forever was the success, he said, "Fuck you, I'm doing The Saint," which that was smart. Smart on him to just be like, "Nope, I'm going to go over here and do The Saint," because if you guys haven't watched Val Kilmer and The Saint, Elizabeth Shue, do yourself a favor. Great, great movie. Great spy, disguise, espionage, Russia movie. So definitely watch that. It's based off a TV show. And so I don't think Val Kilmer. I don't know if Val Kilmer. I mean, he probably would have come back if they asked him, but I don't think he would. They would have been the first choice. They definitely were going after Keaton. Mr. Laugh Now, Cry Later, Darren, I'm ready for some new The Batman content. How intense do you think the dialogue will be in this scene? I know, I'm so fucking curious to see what is talked about in this scene right here. Bruce just like kind of just prying in on Oswald. I mean, come on. It's going to be great. Some commotion happens. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in that scene. John, Murdoch Wayne. Well, I'm finally biting the bullet. After 10 years of being a Batman fan, I'm buying Batman Forever on DVD. Yes, smart. So saw some clips the other night, and yeah, it had so much cheese, a vegan would hate it. Nice. But there was some cool shit in it. Yeah, man. Like I said, I love Batman Forever. I like it more than the Batman Returns. But that's just me. That's just me. CK Cooper Knox, super late to the whole Chris Nolan Universal marriage, but what if the number 100 in the 100 days and the $100 million budget is a clue to the plot of the Oppenheimer movie? So you already think that Christopher Nolan is mind-fucking us? He's already doing a Nolan thing where he's trying to mind-fuck us? Yeah, you never know, but I don't think that's the case now. Hey, you just put it out there just to see what happens. See who would fucking swallow that shit up. Get an iPhone, Dave. I doubt your phone can do this. What, light up? Charge? I could charge my phone.
Wikipedia.org. Blood plasma.
Jesus Christ.
Ah.
So apparently with Suri, she loves it when you stick that thing in there, huh? Yeah, my phone cannot do that. You're absolutely correct. Siri, the AI on my phone can't do that. And this right here, this is interesting right here. Jonavan, he sent this video over. He said, "Hey Dave, love the show. Shameless plug here with a short animation with Batman fighting Deathstroke. I thought your audience would get a kick at it, so enjoy. By the way, these are custom toys, custom McFarlane. So let's watch this right here real quick. So he did some stop motion animation right here.
It appears the game is over before it even begins. I'm not playing games, Slade. It's over, Slade.
Good stuff.
What are
Damn. Well, thank you, Jonathan. That was awesome. Man, it's amazing how long that could take just for that little bit of footage, but awesome stuff right there. I really like that. If you end up doing any more, man, send some more over to me. That was pretty damn cool. And I have my Deathstroke McFarlane over there on the shelf, and of course I got my tactical suit Batman right here, chilling with me on my desk. So yeah, that was really good. Really enjoyed that. Good job. Anybody who does stop motion, man, I always thought about trying to do some stop motion stuff, but man, that is a long process right there, man. You have to be really committed to that. So good job. Really excellent work there, Jonathan. And then finally, Bobby. Chances Marvel will Ralph Boner, Toby, and Andrew. And I think there's no way that they would Ralph Boner those guys. No way. Like they just show up as other characters? No. Yeah, I mean, even though their first names are Peter, yeah, not gonna be dick jokes. They ain't gonna be dick jokes, all right? No dick jokes for Toby and Andrew. Fuck, man. If they did that, they would lose like half their audience. That would be just total fucking suicide when it comes to the Spidey verse that they're trying to do. There's no way that they would try to do that. No. Hopefully not. But then again, you never know. No, they're not. We already saw the leaked video. The leaked video of Andrew now is like in fucking 8K. It's like so clear. It's almost like, yeah. Again, I said this on my Flash video. Sometimes I wonder about these leaks. Are these actual leaks? Or are they just the studio going, this is how you build up hype? Because that's how you build up hype, with leaks. Because it ends up trending and it gets all over the place. I just kind of wonder sometimes. And that Andrew Garfield video is like full of clear. And even with the guy that said like, oh, I deep faked it. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. I didn't, It almost seems like it was planned. Planned, guys. Planned. We live in the Matrix. We definitely live in the Matrix. That was definite pass interference. Holy shit. How did you not? Sorry. Game's on. Fucking the Packers are winning just by 4 points right now, which is no good for me because I needed Rodgers to like really shit the bed like he did last week in order for me to win my fantasy game. Not happening. So looks like I lost. Guys. Anyways, all right, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Appreciate you guys clicking in as per usual. Make sure you smash that like, thumbs up before you leave. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you want to become a member, do so. I'll have a members-only vlog after this. And like I said, members, if you want, I'll give you a promo code for the Film Junkie Closet if you want to pick up any merchandise down below, like the new shirts maybe or whatever. And then, of course, the Patreon's the same thing. If you want to subscribe to the Patreon, do that. I'm going to bring back this Thursday my exclusive Patreon audio little thing that I'm going to do on Thursdays, so look forward to that and anything else I'm working on. And then, of course, we got, like I said, the Film Junkie closet down below with all the new shirts and everything like that. All right, guys. Love ya. See you tomorrow. Talk to you later.